Hey y'all, it is June the 11th, 2018, and y'all, I wanted to sit down for a little while and discuss with y'all something I think is very important, especially at this juncture, and in our investigations into what took place over there at Parkland, the Parkland shooting, and Nicholas Cruz, and all the things that are regarding that. I wanted to sit down and talk with y'all about something that's very important, like I said, especially at this juncture, and that is bullying. I want to talk to you about bullying, all right? Because a lot of people, more and more people, as the days go on, more and more people are realizing the very biggest part of this problem that we're looking at right here, all right? The very biggest shining example of a problem that we need to take care of is the bullying. All right, the bullying is no good, and we don't like it. And a lot of people, that's what they're taking away from this. That bullying is a serious situation. Now, if the story did play out the way that we're being told, and everything happened exactly the way that we're being told, which we don't believe. Most of us don't believe it. Out here on the internet, I'm here to tell you, more and more people are not believing of what we've been told. All right. Well, let's say that it did. Of course, that would pretty much implicate bullying as being a serious problem. Seriously. All right. And something to look at. In fact, the most important thing to look at. So with that being said, I wanted to take some time out and just show an example, all right, of the bullying that I do believe is taking place. Not only was it taking place before this whole situation, but it's still taking place, and it's currently taking place right now by the very people who perhaps bullied Nicholas to begin with, Nicholas Cruz. I don't know that to be a fact, but there are people who go to the school or went to that school in which Nicholas Cruz was clearly bullied from time to time, and he felt isolated. All right. Those people right now, a handful of them, I'm not going to say it's a lot of them, it's probably less than a dozen people, and you'll see their faces on the news, you'll see them on MSNBC and CNN and this and that. You'll see the faces of students who used to go to Parkland. And I can't say if they were bullies or not. I don't know if they ever bullied Nicholas Cruz, but I can tell you they are bullying right now. They're still bullying, and in fact, they're bullying in front of everybody. Right? They're bullying places of business. They're bullying politicians. They're bullying this and that. They're bullying all sort of people and entities. All right, and I don't know what kind of results that they're expecting. But the thing is, the bullying is very off-putting and it's very disgusting. And I wanted to take a little bit of time out to just take a look at it, because here's the thing. The bullying that they're exhibiting, these people, these young people, God bless them, the bullying that they're exhibiting isn't exactly familiar. A lot of the young people out there might not even recognize it as bullying, all right? But it certainly is. We're going to share this clip right here, the one that we're looking at right now. Parkland student Jacqueline Corin, ultimately, We're Making Voting Cool is what the video is called. That's on MSNBC's YouTube channel. All right, if you wanted to check it out. All right, you can see the whole thing. We're only going to watch part of it. But just to set up the clip that we're about to watch, it is a Miss Jacqueline Corin. She's interviewing two of the high school students that I'm talking about who are very much bullying, and I'll explain why. They're talking about Miss Betsy DeVos in regards to, her endeavors in causing schools to be safer, safening up schools, all right, and all sort of things that people do in the government in order to figure out how to solve problems. They're talking about Betsy DeVos, all right, in a very disparaging way. You're going to notice this is a lady, might I add, a lady, all right, in our day and age, in our time, a very well-respected lady in a very well-respected position in our government, right? And I think that's very important. I think it's very important to note that this is a lady who has a very important job, right? A job that's not a joke at all. Y'all, I just want to take some time out right now to share with y'all these three particular people carrying on and talking down about this lady and actually accusing her and implicating her and not being concerned or being too dumb to be concerned for the safety of children in schools across America. So without further ado, let's share this clip.
Ultimately, Betsy DeVos needs to understand that there have been over 20 school shootings in 2018 alone. And if our Secretary of Education fails to recognize the role that guns play in our schools, she doesn't represent the students of America.
I lost all respect for Miss DeVos after she visited our school after our tragedy. She came in one morning to secretly just lurk the halls. I was a part of the school TV production program, so I had to film her going about this. She would whisper to staff members. She would sit down with grieving students when they were in a private counseling session, fully breaking the privacy that these students needed after they lost their friends. And I just can't respect that she wouldn't even look at one of the leading causes of just death in schools, which shouldn't be a classic thing in America. This shouldn't be a classic thing in the 21st century, that we were talking about how many kids are dying in schools and how to stop it, let alone ignoring something as obvious as the gun.
Yeah. Well, I have...
All right, so you can see the rest of this video, obviously, like I said, on the MSNBC channel if you wanted to. But I wanted to point that out. There was a lot of words being said, all right? But I want to point out a few in particular, like the young lady, when she was talking about Betsy DeVos, she said, Betsy DeVos does not represent all of the children in schools across America. All right. Technically speaking, pretty much in a literal fashion, yes, she does, because she's the head of the Board of Education. So in a certain kind of way, she does. All right. But that's not to say that they're all going to agree with her. All right. Certainly not all the children in all the schools across America agree with Betsy DeVos. All right. However, I do have to point out that this young girl, for as nice as she is, God bless her, she also does not represent every last student and how every student feels and the thoughts of every student after this tragedy. She also does not represent the American student in general. All right, so it's kind of weird that she says she's deciding who is and who doesn't represent the school children of America, who obviously are all individuals and they think very differently. The idea is that we can all work together if we put our minds together, and with teamwork we can work to solutions. All right, that would be the idea, but that's not actually what's being suggested here. Not by this young lady, and not by this young man for that matter, who he described Betsy DeVos kind of as a creepy lady, and he said that he has zero respect for her. That's what he said quite clearly. He said, "I have absolutely no respect." Let me remind you, no respect, zero, for Betsy DeVos, who, like I said, is a lady who's had probably plenty of important jobs throughout her career and now has an extremely important job. This young man who probably hasn't had a job, and maybe he has, but irregardless, he's a young man, he's saying he has no respect, and I think that that's important to notice. All right, that's kind of bullying in the way that they're implying that Betsy, maybe she's too dumb to know how to do her job, or maybe she's too lazy, or maybe she's getting backdoor deals and she doesn't care about the children. This is what's being implied by the young folks on the screen, and pretty much by the lady who's on the left. All right, they're pretty much talking bad all over the place about Betsy DeVos. Now, what I want to point out is that these two people, in fact, these three people, there is no way in the world, and I'll guarantee you this, that they will sit down and have a conversation, just a leisurely conversation about teamwork, about solutions, about the safety of children across America, which all of us are concerned about, they won't have a conversation with Betsy DeVos. No, they will only implicate her and accuse her of certain malicious things behind her back. This show, for example, will not give a forum to Betsy DeVos. They will not invite Betsy DeVos on the show. These children, none of these children, not David Hogg or Emma Gonzalez, unfortunately, not a lot of these children, none of these children out here who are proposing certain sort of legislation, none of them will sit down and have a conversation. Not with Betsy DeVos, because they don't respect her. They talk down on her, but they won't talk to her. They have teamwork is not what they have in mind. They don't want to work together. Not with Betsy DeVos. All right. See, the thing is, I wanted to point that out because it's kind of unfair, don't you think? Betsy DeVos is not even given an opportunity to explain herself. Maybe she's being misunderstood in this whole situation, and the children are not even giving her, these children right here are not even giving her a chance to have a conversation. I bet you if they invited her to have a conversation, Betsy DeVos would do it eagerly. I'm sure that she would. Any one of these children from that high school. And I would go so far as to say that if Donald Trump himself, who is the elected president, if he were to offer any one of these children, and I bet you he has, if he were to offer any one of these children just an opportunity, come to the White House, have a conversation with them, try and see if y'all can figure out solutions. Don't you know that not one of these children would agree to have a conversation like two human beings should? We're not going to agree on everything because everybody's individuals. However, we can sit down and have a conversation. However, none of these children that you see on the NBC, the MSNBC, the ABC, the CNN, none of these high school students, like I said, God bless them. I don't wish anything bad upon them. None of these children will ever accept an opportunity to simply have a conversation or perhaps a debate about ideas. They don't like other people's ideas. There's a lot of people out here in this country and on the internet who simply disagree. Most people on the world will want to keep children safe and secure, especially in the schools. Right? But they do disagree about the legislation that's being proposed. And like I said, there's a lot of bullying going on, and it was directed towards Betsy DeVos. But if you watch the whole clip over there on the MSNBC, if you watch the whole clip, you also notice that these two particular high school students, along with Jacqueline Corey, they kind of bully students in general, especially high school students in general across the country, by pretty much implying that they're too lazy to get out to vote. And they really did imply this. They implied that most students and young people are too lazy to get themselves to the ballot box, or maybe they're too dumb to know how to benefit themselves through the act of voting. This is what's being implied about other high school students in general. And it might not be that. It might be either A, they disagree with you, and that's fine because we live in America and we should be able to disagree. Or B, maybe they don't care about your cause and they find you to be irrelevant. Maybe they don't think about you all day or the legislation that you're proposing. These two students, what they're doing is they're bullying everybody, calling everybody lazy, and they're calling everybody dumb who doesn't agree with them. They're saying basically that nobody who opposes their ideas, nobody out here is looking for the safety of children. All right, this is what they're implying. Unfortunately, it's very much a bullying tactic. It's one of those passive-aggressive bullying tactics. Right? And might I remind you that they are trying to extort money from all sorts of different people. They are trying to shut down all sort of free organizations such as the NRA, and that's terrible. And they're going to continue to do so. The can't stop, won't stop for some reason. Not a lot of people agree with them. They don't really care. They're calling everybody dumb and lazy, and that's their game plan. Anyways, I'll holler at y'all a little bit later. It's June 11th, 2018.
I have to say, I have to commend both of you. You guys are using part of your summer vacation to do good things, to do important things, to register people to vote. If you guys ever run for office, I suspect that either of you, to get elected to pretty much anything you want, and you guys can do anything you want in your futures. Thank you so much. Have a great summer. We're going to keep following what you're doing.